first time I've ever meshed those two celebrations. LeBron James with Mike Trudell in the media.
How'd you feel physically after missing a game? And I guess how quickly did you feel like tonight was a good night for you rhythm-wise?
Felt pretty good. You know, with the couple days that we had, a couple days I had off, not playing in Boston Friday and then yesterday. So I had 2.5 days to kind of, you know, work through the injuries that I have. I'm still not 100%, but I felt a lot better tonight than I did coming out of the Toronto game.
You talked, I think you posted something after the Toronto game, just sort of about like appreciating moments and stuff like that. What was it like, kind of the interaction with the fans tonight as you were getting hot? And I don't know, did any interaction stand out?
I mean, if one thing you know about Philly fans, they don't care about anybody besides their home teams, and I respect that and I love that. And I've played here obviously for 23 years. You know, a lot more when I was in the Eastern Conference, but to be able to have an appreciation for the city of brotherly love, and for me to go out and still play the game that I love, and you know, respect it, whatever the case may be, if they do. You know, it's pretty cool.
You have a connection to their star and young and upcoming star in Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Obviously, summertime football. What's it like to see that development play out in real time while also being able to kind of stay at the same pace?
It's the best. It's the best. Same pace, no. I will guarantee his pace is a lot faster than my pace these days. But I love the success and the humbleness that Tyrese does it at. It starts with his family, you know, and you know, he's just taking full advantage of the opportunity, you know, here, and he's make the most of it. And every summer we get together and train, get ready for the season. Obviously, it wasn't as extended this summer than previous summers because of the injury I was dealing with, but we did get an opportunity to get on the floor a few times. So, obviously, I love his game, but I love, you know, him the person more than even his game, and that's, you know, that's tough to do. You know, as great as he is on the court.
After the Phoenix game, I asked you about being more on the ball, and you said, hey, like, things have been working well for us, and that's not necessarily going to happen all the time. What are the triggers or the kind of the things that you see within the game that kind of indicate that maybe this is going to be the night where we do more?
Just play the game how it unfolds. You know, I feel like, you know, AR has some really good looks tonight, but, you know, he wasn't, you know, in the rhythm that he's been in all season. You know, I understood that, you know, traveling from a different country back here with a newborn, you know, could be very taxing on you, not only mentally and physically. You know, and you know, shout out to him and his family for the newborn. That's amazing. So I felt like the opportunity kind of presented itself in a way that if I felt like my two heavy hitters, you know, kind of didn't have it, or, you know, needed a little kick, then try to punch in from there.
Big game. Check this out. I know I mentioned it a little bit before, but Kareem with 1,074 regular season wins, LeBron with 1,015, and Robert Parrish now in third. It's a lot of games.
So a lot of games to get to second place, surpassing the Chief. You know, centers, they stand tall and they go up and down one line.
Yeah.
That's why they're able to do it. Guys like LeBron, though, Danny.
Yeah. I don't know if he gets this, though. He has to play a whole nother season because
it's a lot of games.
You got to win 60 more games to get this one. That means he has to play next season.
Let's get him through this one first,
yeah,
Danny.
let's get him through this one first.
It's been quite a weekend for Luka Doncic. He flew around the globe.
Judging on a night where maybe Reeves his load as earlier this week and Luka had what he had going on, to see LeBron like that in the fourth quarter, what did that mean?
Well, I really thought his play throughout the game gave us such a lift. One of the things that he did extremely well tonight was screen, and using his gravity to create an advantage either for the handler or getting behind, roller behind, and then playing out of that. So, you know, he certainly scored the basketball, made some huge shots down the stretch, but really on a night when Austin didn't have it, and Luka clearly, you know, with all the travel he's had this week, wasn't at necessarily his best scoring the basketball, still did a lot of great stuff for us and ended up with a triple-double. You know, LeBron was like our connector tonight. The second action stuff was huge.
All around defensively, with scheme and everything else, was that one of your better defensive efforts, you like of late?
Yeah, I felt like we did a decent job of executing schemes outside of some fouls with Embiid, and not the ISO fouls. We did a fairly good job there. There was the Adu closeout twice with Jackson on the greens where we just got our hands in there, and that's just something that we had emphasized. But the ISO stuff we did well. And then the 2 times in the first half where we didn't execute our pick and roll coverage with Maxey, he hits 2 threes. The other one was off like a scramble situation. So to then, we give up 60 points in the first half, and then to come back in the second half and defend the way we did was awesome. And I thought DA in particular led on that end of the floor for us. I mean, we just talked about it in the locker room. He did a ton of stuff. He was in drop, being disruptive. He was getting loose balls. He was blocking shots. He was switching on to Maxey. Just whatever we needed him to do on that end of the floor in the second half, he was great.
JJ, is this sort of an example of the luxury that you guys have offensively when it comes to just sort of individual greatness? That, like, to your point earlier, it's just sort of like, it's okay. It's not Austin's night. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's not Luka's night.
Yeah. And I think the growth that we've had and we can still get better with is we want you to play your game. We want you to recognize that. But some nights, we played through LeBron a lot in the second half tonight. Down the stretch, we played through him. And so the unselfishness to just, hey, the ball swings to me and I got to close out, or ball swings to me and I can shoot it, great, but there's no need to force it. I thought AR did a good job of touching the paint tonight and just some shots, those, non-paint 2s that he's really good at and has shot really well. They just didn't get in the rim tonight.
Necessarily care about your resume when you play a new game. Is it a night like this, do you feel like it's good for LeBron at this stage of his career and good for the group, kind of the reestablish and see again?
I don't think LeBron needs confidence, but but it's a fair question because I do think it's important to be reminded every now and then of what you're capable of, and for him to have the injuries and then to sort of start the season playing catch-up in a way, and start the season playing catch-up with a team that is also in a really good rhythm. And that's, as a player, I don't care how good you are, that's tough to figure out. So tonight was super important, Dave.
To finish this road trip, now 2-1 on this trip, like, what impressed you the most about the way you guys played and you guys bounced back in this game to finish on a high note?
Yeah, I mean, the concern coming into this game was our defense and whether or not we could defend these guys and get enough stops, and we did that, so that was great. I would say, again, we're now 23 games into the season, and I felt like in most of those games, there have been moments where we could break. And we talk about bending but not breaking all the time. And that was another example tonight where we're down in the first half. We're down by 10, right, with under a minute to go in the second quarter. The way that group came out to start the third, and then the way the group played when it was just AR and Bron, the ball movement, the passing, all of that stuff, there's a lot that we can build on with that.
Quick note, by the way, LeBron James moves into second place all-time. Just another climb up the ladder, Big Game James. All-time wins in the regular season. Now it's 1,015. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has 1,074 regular season wins. Your guy. That's a lot of good teams.
With less seasons, right?
That's a lot of good teams.
Bron's going to break all those records. I think he's going to have every record in the NBA when he retires.
It's that is a wild number. By the way, I'm glad JJ brought up that third quarter.
Yeah.
The way the Lakers came out.
For sure.
Down 7, ended up being up 3. That's a 10-point turnaround. It was pretty awesome. All right, let's get you the highlights so you can see it for yourself.